Five out basketball, five segments, five takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is Five Out Basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
But here are some teams coming up this season, the 2023-2024 season, who I don't know. Some of them are they contenders? Will they make it to the dance, or are they pretenders and they're gonna eat on fraud watch? So next segment, I want to talk about 2 to 3. We'll say three contenders and 3 pretenders from this season. Ooh, sorry, I had to get some water. See, this is the thing, bro. That's why I miss my guy Joey. When I get water, he can at least fill in the blanks, or vice versa. That's just, the solo stuff is weird, man. But nonetheless, we here. So I'm gonna start off with the contender. I'm gonna go flip flop, actually. In and out. Contenders. The first one, I think it's easy. The Boston Celtics. I'm not really gonna jump into this too much because we already discussed this earlier. My whole breakdown on the Boston Celtics. So I'm not gonna OD it and you know tell you the whole thing again. But again, this is the best team with the best record in the league right now. They have probably the highest favorites. They're the best favorites right now, probably to be in the dance and win the dance. So yeah, I think this is easy. I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about the Boston Celtics. The first pretender, OKC Thunder. Oh, now I bet you didn't expect to hear me say that, but I'll keep it a beam with you. I don't think we're contenders. I don't think we're championship yet. I think we have the tools. Like we have our superstar. We have a well-balanced team. We have a top offense and defense. All the recipes to being a good contender. But you know, well, I think we're just still too young. Now I know that's like that's kind of Mickey, but I think we're still too young. Like we've played some teams that are more experienced than us, and we've picked up some losses. The Lakers have beaten us. The Clippers have beaten us. We've beaten the Warriors, so can't say. What can I say? And we've beaten the Timberwolves. We've beaten the Nuggets. We've even beaten the Celtics. So I'm not gonna. I think out of all the pretenders here, I feel like we probably have the best chance of actually making it out. But I don't think we're legit contenders yet. But I think we do have some time. I'm not. I've learned from my mistakes of look. Oh, we have Russ, KD, and Harden. We'll be fine. We'll get one eventually. Yeah. So I don't hope we don't take that approach of just, oh, it'll come around. Don't worry about it. No, we need to be attacking that now and, you know, hoping that these dudes develop even faster because we show some good growth. And I think we continue to get better. The next contender, again, obvious one, the Denver Nuggets. Honestly, I think there's only really two legit contenders, but I think these other ones are a bit shaky. But I think the Nuggets, again, they're 42-20, reigning champs. What can I say? They're third seed in the West, and they beat the Celtics on their home floor. Like, this is another contender. Again, it's hard to be the reigning champs and not be considered a contender. So I'm not going to be the dude who be like, I don't think they're contenders. No. This is a team that has relatively the same roster as their championship winning roster. And keep in mind, they have the best player in the league. They have Nikola Jokic with a great supporting cast. One of the best point guards in the league, Jamal Murray, who we've seen it on the big stage. He always shows up. They have Aaron Gordon, who's become one of the better role players, along with Michael Porter Jr., Christian Brown, KCP. Um, yeah, Zeke Nnaji. Like they have a good roster. I said Zeke Nnaji, really. But they have a good roster. Just all in all, they have a really good roster, and it's hard to say they're not contenders. And I think they're probably right behind the Celtics in terms of who's a favorite. And I'll be honest with you, if the Celtics play the Nuggets in the finals, I won't lie. I might pick the Nuggets in that series. As much as the Celtics have been really good, I don't really know what they do to stop Jokic. Granted, nobody really knows how to stop Jokic, so I'm not gonna hold that against them. But at the end of the day, like it's gonna be tough for the Celtics to get past some Nuggets. So I think the next contender is easily the Nuggets. The next pretender, I'm okay with this. Timberwolves. I think, obviously it's funny that the two top seeds in the West I consider as pretenders, but I don't really trust the Timberwolves now. Sure, you heard the news, Cat has gotten injured, so if he's really done for the season, that's even worse for the Timberwolves moving forward. But um yeah, the Timberwolves, they're 43-19, number one in the West. But the thing that stands out to me, they have really good defense. Obviously, they've been like the best defense all season, and they're the running away defensive player of the year in Rudy Gobert. But when you look at their offense, they're middle of the pack, mediocre offense, and which isn't terrible. In the playoffs, the game slows down. So if you have a good defense, sure, you'll be fine. But when you consider that their offense is so mid, like especially if Cat's gonna be out, oh, it's gonna be tough for Ant because Mike Conley is cool. Jaden McDaniels is cool. Rudy Gobert, if he's not catching lobs, he's really not doing anything on offense. So yeah, I'm not really gonna say too much about him. But the rest of the team, Nas Reed is cool, like Shake Milton, Nikhil Alexander Walker. Cool. Like it's really gonna be a lot of Ant. And he's shown he can play well in the playoffs, but if it's just the Ant show and they run into the right team, it's gonna be tough. Honestly, it's gonna be tough. So I think for the Timberwolves, I consider them pretenders for now. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a little bit of a run. Because I mean, any team that has wins like this, you can't say that they just won't do anything. It's hard to do that. But wouldn't be surprised to see them get knocked out in the first round or make it to conference finals. They're kind of in that, either or area. So yeah, the next team up as a contender, my last contender, the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, before y'all start getting in them comments saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, one, didn't you say the Pacers would beat them in the round?" Whoa. Hold on. That does not change the equation that this team is still considered a contender. Look, when I look at the rest of the league, right? The only other team I would have put here is the Clippers. And I only wanted to have three teams on the list, so I was like, Clippers, Bucks, whatever. I went for the Bucks because of one thing. Giannis Antetokounmpo. I trust Giannis and even Dame to a certain extent more than I trust Paul George, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook in the playoffs. Now, I do think this is the team scenario for all three of those dudes to actually perform well in the playoffs, but I gotta see it, you know? And for the Bucks, we've seen Giannis win a championship, so he has that pedigree. And Dame, we've seen him play pretty good in the playoffs. Like, I know this season has been kind of rough for Dame, but I think when playoff time comes around, if he can really, play like himself, who might have said that they can't, beat a lot of these other teams? And obviously in the East, all roads kind of lead to Boston, but with the right matchup, I think the Bucks can get right to that conference finals, and who knows, they might actually be able to take down the Boston Celtics. So I can't say a team that has Giannis and Dame isn't a contender, especially when they've still been the second seed. They're 41 and 22. So it's not like they've been so bad that like they're the sixth seed and this and that. Like I'm like, oh no, I can't have them here. But the fact that they've still been the two seed with the issues they've dealt with, I can't say they're not contenders. So that's my last contender. Clippers fans, trust me, I actually do low key consider you contender as well, but I wanted to have three for each. So just keep that in mind. The final pretender. Now, this isn't really easy, and I don't really want to say this team's a pretender because I don't even think they have high expectations to really get to the dance. But the reason why I picked this team is one, they're one of the top teams in their conference, and I've heard little murmurs, but not too many, that hey, this team might be, blah blah blah. And when I look at the rest of the NBA, I don't really consider these teams pretenders because I don't think they have that kind of status to say that they're contenders, right? The team I have is Cleveland Cavaliers. Now they're 40 and 22. They've been really good as of late. But I do think they could sell you in the playoffs. Like Donovan Mitchell, I'm not really worried about. But when I look at Jared Allen, hey, what's that quote? Lights were too bright. Come on, bro. What are you saying that out loud for? Evan Mobley hasn't really taken that jump I expected him to take offensively. Defensively, dude's probably gonna win a DPOY at some point in his career, but offensively, kind of just around the same. And then, who else? Darius Garland, you know, in 2K, if you know any ball, 2K, Darius Garland, different. But the rest of the team is decent like that. Max Strus has been good. Hey, shout out D Wade. The best D Wade. Joking. But, Isaac Okoro is decent. Like the team isn't bad. I just feel like compared to the other teams, especially within their own conference, when I look at the Celtics, I just don't think they can get by the Celtics. And honestly, I don't think they're better than the Bucks. And I know that's crazy to say, but I think they'd have a tough time stopping the Bucks. And I wouldn't even be surprised if a team like the Knicks beat them. You know, I don't know about Indiana. I don't know about Philly. Maybe would only be coming back. Who knows? But I don't even think they're better than the Knicks. I know the Knicks have a worse record, but I think fully healthy, the Knicks would beat them. So Yeah, that's my last contender or pretender, but no hate to those Cavs. I think they'll be great, but yeah, I know Joey's gonna be upset that I didn't have the Knicks on the contenders list, but we ball.
Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out Podcast. I am Joey the Master Lee Master, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.